Dear Training Bra Times, I am a single mom and my son Danny is 11 years old. This past March he asked me if I would get him a training bra. Seems that he is a very inquisitive kid and came to me then asking what it was like to wear a training bra. Now, I'm not the type of mom to deny anything of my son, especially when he is being inquisitive, so I am turning to you for advice. What do you recommend for a mom to buy her son as his first training bra? I want to make sure that his experience in getting his first bra is as authentic as possible, because I know that once he starts wearing a bra, he'll want to wear one all the time. I should also mention that I have noticed that he has a small bit of development, so as you might guess I'm quite excited about getting him his first training bra. Thank you, Mrs. A.B. in Peekskill, New York. Hi. Danny is a super lucky boy and you are a great mom. If you want to give him a really authentic experience, we recommend that you take him to a local bra shop and arrange for a fitting. They will make him feel comfortable with getting his first bra. Chances are that they will recommend that he wear a teen form Pretty Please, especially since he is developing a bit. You can see it in the picture. Danny will think it's cool beans and will want to wear it home. You're gonna want to buy him more than one because he'll want to wear his training bra all the time, even to bed. I know that's the way it is for me. As he develops, a training bra like the Pretty Please will help him along the way. I just know that getting Danny his first training bra will be a super exciting day for both of you, as there is nothing sweeter than a mom helping the morning mail went plop on the floor as the mailman pushed it through the slot. Poking out from the grocery store flyers was a plain brown envelope that bore the return address, Acme Baseball Card Company, P.O. Box 4493, Kansas City, Kansas. It was simply addressed to Mrs. Audrey Bingham, 4109, Calico Lane, Peekskill, New York. Apart from the colorful 6-cent stamp honoring Grandma Moses, there was nothing special about the mailing. The content of the envelope, however, was very special, and Mrs. Bingham's hands went a bit clammy as she held it. Could it be the answer that she had been waiting for? She sat down at the kitchen table and poured a cup of coffee for herself. Using a butter knife as a letter opener, she tore the envelope open. Mrs. Bingham pulled the neatly stapled sheets of paper from the envelope and unfolded them. The words "The Training Bra Times" were written in ornate script across the top. A small yellow piece of paper from a pencil table was paperclipped to the newsletter. Mrs. Bingham unfolded it and began to read it. Dear Mrs. Bingham, thank you for writing to the Training Bra Times. Here's a free copy of the issue where we answered you letter. We hope that you will get a subscription for your son Danny, because we all think that you are about the swellest mom anywhere and that Danny is a very lucky boy. We're sure that both you and Danny will have a great time when you go to get him his first training bra. All the best, Robbie. Mrs. Bingham scanned the newsletter and read the reply to her question as she sipped her coffee. As she thought about taking Danny to get his very own training bra, a warmth came over her. She loved her son so much, and he made her world a little brighter, a world that in the past had seen its share of sadness, initially as a young girl of 18 and pregnant. She had spent far too many years as a single mom, with no family. Calling her a disgrace to the family, her parents tried to force her to have an abortion at the hands of a woman who practiced such things along the dark recesses of the city. On the night before the procedure, she packed up what she could, stole a few $100 from her parents and slipped away into the night. She caught a Greyhound bus to California and at age 18 suddenly found herself free. The first several months were tough, but she found soon work as a waitress in Emeryville. She had been staying in a motel that offered weekly rentals along with a lifetime supply of all the cockroaches you could stand. One of the other waitresses, a girl named Sky, offered to take her in as a roommate. She never forgot the acts of kindness people showed her, not judging her for being pregnant and unwed. They became the cornerstone she built her new life on. As time passed, life got better and better, and soon she gave birth to Danny. Sky helped her with the baby, and soon she was on her feet. As the 1960s rolled along, Danny grew up healthy and happy, with a sweetness and gentleness about him. He often asked about why he didn't have a dad like other kids, and Audrey just said that the right dad was on his way, like a Christmas gift. Every night she prayed that someone would come along, praying till the beads of her rosaries were worn and dull. But still Audrey was afraid that no man would want her, a single mom. Then one day she met Bruce Bingham during the Summer of Love, but the unrest caused by the war in Vietnam stole him away from her. He had been a customer at the Bear Flag Diner where she was working. After a few late nights of Bruce nursing a cup of coffee for hours, he finally asked her out. It wasn't really a date, as they often shared coffee and pie as the diner was closing. But on this night Audrey sat with him as her boss Leo closed up. Glancing at her watch she exclaimed, "Oh crumbs, it's late and I have to be somewhere," knowing that she'd have to get Danny from over at Sky's house. "Can I walk you?" Bruce asked. No, Audrey stammered as she got up, spilling the contents of her purse on the table as she slung it over her shoulder, a picture of Danny falling out of her wallet. Bruce picked it up and asked, "Now who's this fine-looking youngster?" Audrey sighed, thinking that the end of the relationship was near. "That is my son, Danny. Will, he's one lucky kid with a mom as nice as you," Bruce observed. "You mean you don't mind that I have a child?" Audrey asked. "Of course not," Bryce replied. "I bet he's a cool kid. I'd sure like to meet him." "Oh, he is," Audrey said, smiling. "Just last week." Just then her boss, Leo, interrupted. "Hey, yous too. I gotta lock up." "Say, you want to meet Danny? You can stop in for a coffee," Audrey asked. Bruce agreed, and one thing led to another, and by the end of 1966 they were married. Audrey and Bruce's world was about to be turned upside down, though, in late 1967. She and Bruce were peacefully protesting in Berkeley when a group of thugs set upon them intent on smashing heads. As shouts of "Commie Pinko bastards" tore through the air, a baseball bat came down on Bruce's head and he fell into an endless sleep. Audrey vowed to protect her son from violence, and they moved to Peekskill in Westchester County in New York. Peekskill had learned a lesson about tolerance because of violence that had taken place in the late 1940s in the drive for civil rights. The town was doing well in healing the wounds caused by the violence between whites and blacks. She tucked the letter away and went to Robbie's room to awaken him. As he sat eating a bowl of Captain Crunch cereal, she began asking him questions. "Danny, can I ask you a question?" she asked. Danny slurped at the milk in his spoon. "Sure, Mom," he replied. "Remember when you asked me to get you a training bra so you could see what it was like to wear one?" Danny replied, and then blinked and smiled. "Well, let me ask you," she continued, "do you want to be a girl?" "Gee, Mom, girls are sure swell and all, but I like being a boy and all. And I like girls too, 'cause, well, you know. I feel all funny inside when I think about them," Danny replied. "Okay, but why do you want to wear a training bra?" Danny's mom continued. "Oh golly, Mom, I dunno," Danny said as he cupped his chin with one hand. "I suppose it's because girls' clothes are kinda cool and I guess I kinda like them." Audrey's inquiry continued. "Well, have you ever worn any girls' clothes?" Danny's face got a bit flushed, and answered, "Shucks, Mom, no. I guess that's why I kinda asked about them." "Why, Mom?" "Just asking, Danny. You know that I want to make you happy." Now finish your Captain Crunch and then run along and play. I have chores to do, Audrey answered. Danny finished his cereal and then headed off on his bicycle for a day of just lazing around and reading in the bright sunshine. When he left, his mom picked the phone and dialed the number for Emily's discount store. Hello, Emily, it's Audrey Bingham. Fine, yes, and you? I need your help with something really special. Several days passed and life went on as carefree as it can be for an 11-year-old boy. For Audrey Bingham, however, it was a very busy few days as she put her plan of action in play, a plan that would culminate that Saturday. On Friday night, she tucked Danny under the blankets after he said his prayers. She kissed him good night and said, "You have the most beautiful dreams. Sleep well, because tomorrow will be a very extra special day for you." Why, Mom? What's tomorrow? Danny asked. You'll find out soon enough, Danny's mom replied. Just dream about the most wonderful things that you could ever want, okay? Now just close your eyes. Well, all right. Good night, Mom, Danny replied. Mrs. Bingham got up from his bed and went to the door. She looked around Danny's bedroom and smiled. It was the typical bedroom of an 11-year-old boy, with a rocket ship and model of the planets, and big map of the world on the wall. A picture of his stepdad was on the nightstand. As Audrey turned out the light, she smiled at Danny as she closed his bedroom door and said, "Now close your eyes and dream of the bestest things ever." Danny closed his eyes real tight and began to wish, and soon was off to a deep dream-filled sleep. In those dreams he was in a store with row upon row of pretty dresses with not one pair or trousers to be found. As he walked through the store, he came to a table filled with pretty panties and then right next to it, a display of training bras. He picked up one of the boxes and was surprised to see that not only did it have a picture of a girl modeling the bra, but there was a boy wearing one too standing right next to her. He looked closely and discovered that the boy on the box wearing the training bra was him. The morning was bright and sunny, and comforting breeze blew in through his bedroom window. Danny yawned and stretched as his mom knocked on his bedroom door. "Danny, honey, time to get up," she called out. "Okay, Mom," Danny answered. As he wiped the sleep out of his eyes, he wondered about telling his mom about his dream. A bowl of cereal awaited him downstairs and a glass of fresh squeezed orange juice. "Eat up all your breakfast. We have a very special day ahead of us," Danny's mom said. "We do?" Danny asked. "We do indeed. It's going to be great fun, and I bet you can't guess what it will be," Audrey replied. "Is it?" Danny started to ask. "Shoo. You'll spoil the surprise," she said, smiling as Danny gulped down the last of his orange juice. "Now finish your cereal and I'll run a bath for you." After Danny finished his cereal, he went into the bathroom and discovered a tub filled with bubbles. A pink box of Mr. Bubble bath sat on the vanity. The bath felt good and warm and felt like he was floating in a cloud. When he stepped out of the bath, he felt all warm as he wrapped himself in the big fuzzy towel his mom had left for him. The sweet fragrance of the bubbles lingered as he walked down to his room. Danny stopped in his tracks as he looked at what was spread out upon his bed. There was a pink dress, a pair of girls' white knee socks along with a pair of pink and white saddle shoes. A pair of girls' panties were folded on the bed next to the dress. "Mom," Danny called out. "Where's my jeans?" Danny's mom came down the hallway and stood in the doorway to his bedroom. "Jeans? Why would anyone want to wear jeans when they could wear a pretty dress like this?" "But, Mom, I mean..." Danny sputtered. "Now shush." This is a very special day, and a very special day means that you get to wear a very special dress, your very own dress. Now put on your panties and then I'll help you put on your dress. With that, Audrey turned and left the room. Danny stood there for a moment and then dropped the towel to the floor and sat on his bed. He picked up the pair of panties and held them in his hand. They felt soft and warm. Carefully, he pulled them on and snuggled them about his waist. Boys' underwear never felt this good, and he smiled. The smile faded as picked up the dress and found an undershirt. It was a girl's undershirt, but an undershirt nonetheless, and not the training bra he had hoped to find there. He slipped it over his head. Danny stood there with a frown on his face as his mom came back into his bedroom. "Here, let me help you," his mom said as she adjusted the girl's undershirt on him. "Let me look at you." "Tisk," she continued. "This will never do." Danny tilted his head to one side, a sad look on his face. "Yep, I think it's time you start wearing a training bra." "What do you think, Danny?" Audrey observed. Danny's eyes lit up and he beamed with a warm smile on his face. "Really?" "Yes, really. You're 11 years old and that seems like the perfect time for a boy to get his first bra," the boy's mom pointed out. Danny stood there with a big smile on his face and then wrapped his arms around his mom's neck and hugged her. "Oh, thank you, Mom, thank you, thank you." "Now let's get your dress on," Audrey said. Danny's mom helped him into his dress and adjusted it. "There, perfect," she said. "You look great in a dress, I do?" Danny asked. "You do. Better than in trousers," his mom pointed out. "Now put on your knee socks and shoes." "I'll be right back." Danny sat on his bed and pulled on his knee socks and the slip on the pink and white girl's saddle shoes his mom had bought for him. As he finished tying them, his mom returned. "Turn around and let me see how you look," his mom said. Danny twirled and the skirt of his dress swirled around him, giggling as he did so. "Yes. Danny, you look great. We better get a move on so that we can head out to Emily's discount store to get you fitted for your training bra." "Head out." The blood rushed from Danny's face. "You mean like go outside, like, with me wearing a dress?" "Of course. Why not? Lots of other boys do," Danny's mom told him. "They do?" Danny stammered. "Sure. Here, I wanted to give this to you," his mom answered as she handed him a copy of the Training Bra Times. "See, here's a little magazine all about boys like you who wear dresses and training bras." Danny took it from her and began reading the first page. "Mom. You wrote to them about me?" "Sure. I wanted to make sure that I did everything right when it came to buying a training bra for you, so I wrote to the experts, other boys just like you," she answered. "You mean there really are other boys like me?" "I mean that like to girls' clothes?" Danny asked. "Yes, indeedy." "And they play baseball and have girlfriends and are just regular kids," his mom replied. "Wowzers. That's swell." Danny paused and gave his mom a kiss. "I love you, Mom. And I love you too, Danny. Now let's get going." Danny and his mom hopped into her VW Beetle and arrived at Emily's discount store at precisely 11:15. By the time they got there, any fear that Danny had of being in public in girls' clothes had evaporated and was replaced by excitement. Finally, Danny thought, can it really be that my dream of wearing a training bra just like the girls at school is going to come true? They entered the store and Emily Broadbent greeted them warmly. "Well, hello, Audrey. And special hello to you, Danny. This is a very special day. Emily walked to front of her store and flipped the little sign from open to closed and pulled down the blind. Good morning, Emily. Thank you so much for taking time out for Danny's first bra fitting. Oh, it's a pleasure. What do you think, Danny? Emily asked. Danny smiled and answered, thank you, Miss Broadbent, for helping me out, and, Danny, what a pretty dress you're wearing. Any boy would be proud to wear a dress like that, don't you think? Emily continued. Yes, ma'am. Danny replied. Well, Audrey, I think we should get down to it, Emily said before turning to Danny. Are you ready to be measured for your first bra? I think so. Then go back into the changing room marked girls and take off your dress. You can hang it to hook in there and then come out wearing just your panties and undershirt. Okay, JJJ, just my panties and undershirt. Danny stammered. Why, of course. How else do you think we measure you for a bra? Emily said with a smile. Danny did as he was told and soon appeared before his mom and Miss Broadbent wearing only his panties and girl's undershirt. Miss Broadbent took a measuring tape and wrapped it around his chest. 30 inches, Yes, indeed, Emily winked at Danny's mom. Audrey, you picked the perfect time for Danny to start wearing a bra. He's 30 AA cup. With the right training bra, he'll be AA cup by the end of summer. Won't that be something, Danny? Danny's face lit up and he beamed with a big smile. Wow, that'd be swell, he replied. Now what kind of training bra would you like, Danny? We have a lot of styles for girls and very lucky boys like you. Emily asked. Danny showed Miss Broadbent what Robbie at the Training Bra Times recommended. The Training Bra Times. Aren't Robbie and all the boys there just wonderful? Emily observed. Why oh, you know about them? Danny asked. Emily smiled. Why, yes. They send lots of business to me. Golly. Okay, well, I think I want a teen form, pretty please. Please. Danny replied. All right. I have one right here in your size. She handed the training bra box to Danny. Audrey, why don't you go back to the changing room with Danny and help him put it on? After all, this is a moment that a mom should share with her son, Emily pointed out. Danny and his mom headed back to the change room. Danny's mom sat on the little bench inside the room and asked him to remove his undershirt. Okay, Danny. Open the box and take out your training bra and hand it to me. Isn't this exciting? My son is getting his first training bra. Audrey exclaimed. Danny's mom felt a thrill go through her as she helped Danny with his training bra. She gently slid the straps up his arms and then turned him around to fasten the hooks and eyes in the back. Danny's tummy was filled with butterflies as she did this, but it was good butterflies. Turn around now and let me look at you, Audrey said to her son. He stood there in his training bra and panties, a big smile on his face. A tear rolled down Audrey's cheek. She had never seen him so happy before. Oh, Danny, I love you so much, she said. Turn around and look in the mirror to see how cute you look. Danny turned and looked in the full-length mirror. His eyes got as big as saucers as he looked at his reflection, the image of an 11-year-old boy in his own panties and training bra. Now it was his turn to cry and a tear of happiness rolled down his cheeks as he turned and hugged his mom. Oh, Mom, thank you. Thank you. I am the luckiest boy anywhere. This is the bestest day in my life, he said. Audrey wiped away Danny's joyful tears and said, Let's go show Emily how you look. Danny and his mom opened the door of the change room and walked out into the store. Oh, my Danny, don't you look cute? I said it before, but this proves it. Your mom brought you at exactly the right time to get you a training bra. Emily observed. How does it feel to be wearing one? Fanny the boy smiled at her and replied. It feels really swell, Miss Broadbent. Now you know you'll have to wear training bra from now on as you develop. Is that okay? Emily asked. You bet. That's be cool, Danny smiled as he answered. Well, what about gym days at school? Emily, Danny's mom, asked. Well, we have all summer to figure that out, so I wouldn't worry, Emily replied. In the meantime, Danny, since you'll be wearing a training bra from now on, you'll need to pick out another one. Danny cupped his chin in his hand and thought. There were so many pretty styles. I think I'll just get another pretty please, Miss Broadbent. All right, Emily replied. Perhaps you and your mom can come back in a week or so when I get in a new stock and you can pick out a third one. Oh, before I forget, Audrey, does Danny have enough panties for every day? Oh, Emily, I almost forgot. Audrey replied. Well, I have these cute cotton ones. How about these, Danny? Emily asked. Oh yes, please, Miss Broadbent. Danny replied. I know these are exactly what every boy needs, the pretty pastel nylon panties, Emily said as she handed a pair to Danny. Danny took the panties in his hands. They were cool and slippery to his touch and felt like nothing he had ever felt before. Looking at his mom, he exclaimed, Oh Mom, please may I have some panties like these, please, please, please. His mom smiled and replied, You know, if I get these panties for you, we'll have to throw away all you boys' underwear to make room in your drawers for your panties as well as your training bras. All right. That'd be swell, Mom. Please, can I get them, please? Danny pleaded. Sure, now why don't you go put your dress back on and we can head home to throw away all your boys' underwear? Audrey said. You bet. Danny said as he skipped back to the girls' change room. He's just so sweet, Audrey. I bet you are very proud of him, Emily observed. Oh, I am. He's a great boy. Not a mean or hurtful bone in his body, Audrey replied as she paid for Danny's bras and panties. As they left the store, Emily called out, Bye, Audrey. Bye, Danny. Now you be sure to stop back in a week. I'll have a new stock of teen form training bras and that I know you will like, and some new dresses for you, Danny. Okay, Miss Broadbent. Thank you. Danny called out. His heart was singing and filled with happiness as they walked back to the car with his mom. And then he stopped dead in his track. Danny stuttered as he ducked behind his mom. What, Danny? What's wrong? She asked. It's Sarah Gray. What if she sees me? Sarah Gray was one of Danny's friends from school. They used to play together and sometimes played house in the little playhouse her dad had built for her in the backyard. It was too late, for Sarah had spied him. Danny, is that you? She said, smiling. Ah, yes, Danny replied. Cool, Danny, you're wearing a dress. How groovy is that? Sarah replied. You think so? Danny asked. Yep. And I think you're cute, Sarah said as she gave him a kiss on the cheek. Danny blushed a deep shade of red. It was Sarah's turn to act shy as she asked, If you'd like to, we can get together and play with my Barbie dolls. I'll let you dress up Ken in Barbie's clothes if you'd like. Danny turned to his mom. Gee, Mom, can I? Well, I think that maybe Sarah had better come over to our house with her Barbie dolls, so you two can play, okay? She replied. Then Sarah squinted her eyes and looked closely at Danny. Danny, is that a training bra you're wearing? By this time Danny was feeling super brave and super proud. I am. My mom just bought it for me. I'm wearing panties too. You are just so cool, Danny, Sarah said as she gave him another kiss. Show Sarah your copy of the training bra times, Danny, Audrey asked. See, my mom wrote to these boys at this magazine for advice. You mean there are other boys like you who wear training bras and panties and dresses? Sarah asked. Sure, lots of boys do. Danny replied. That is just so neat. Well, I gotta go to my piano lesson, but can I come over this afternoon with my Barbies, Mrs. Bingham? Sarah asked. Sure, Sarah, Danny will be home waiting for you. I'll have milk and cookies for you, okay? Bye. Sarah started down the sidewalk and stopped. She turned and came running back to Danny. I just noticed something. The reason I could see your bra was because you aren't wearing a slip. Is it okay if I bring one of my extra slips over for Danny to wear under his dress? Mrs. Bingham, Sarah asked. Oh my! How could I forget? I don't see why not, Mrs. Bingham replied. Okay, see ya, Danny, Sarah said as she skipped down the sidewalk. Danny's life was now filled with a happiness that he had never felt before. All through the magic of a training bra. His own training bra.